Christina McNair here, the relationship facilitator with Fresh Start Relationship Coaching, also referred to as FSR Coaching LLC. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Fresh Talk with Fresh Start. Today's topic will be short and sweet, or at least I'm going to try to make sure it's short and sweet, because it's pretty straight to the point. And that is the question that was submitted to me was, why doesn't my significant other understand that a man needs his space? Dear darling, sir, let me help you out. That's not a difficult concept to comprehend. So the question really shouldn't be, why doesn't she understand it? Because she understands it. Trust me, she gets it. She just doesn't want to. She doesn't want to give you your space. And she wants to change your mind. Hello? Yes, she gets that you need your space, or that you say you need your space. She understands that. She just wants to change your mind. It's something we often do. Unfortunately, it's the truth. Ladies, don't get mad at me for telling that truth. It's the truth. As women, we can be very persistent, and I'm not going to use that word. That's almost certain to end up with a negative response, but we can be very persistent and determined, and we persevere, okay? If at first you don't succeed, try again, honey. So if we don't get you to extend your stay in that moment, or if we don't get you to extend our stay, if we've gone to visit you or whatever it is that may be the case, then we'll try again. We are not above trying again, okay? One failure does not knock us out. Because we want what we want when we want it. It's that simple. And it's not from a place of malice or ill intent. It's, we love you, we enjoy being around you, so we want to be around you more. And you just so happen to be the type of guy who needs more space than what your significant other is providing you. Well, this is what I'll say to you. If you are very adamant about your space, not just the need for it, but taking it, requiring it, then be consistent in that requirement. Because I'm going to tell you now, if 99% of the time you say, I need my space, and you take it because it is a definite requirement, that 1% of time that you give in and say, okay, I need my space, but I'll stay a little longer, or you can stay a little longer, or we'll do this a little longer, whatever. Then what you have just done is compromise your requirement. Okay. Now, while relationships are about compromise, the tone I get from the question that you presented is that you needing your space is very vital to you. It is a very vital requirement for your well-being. So if that is the case, do not minimize it when you're speaking with your significant other. Inform her, communicate with her just how vital your alone time is, or your space. You may not even be alone. You may be with your friends. You may be with your boys, or you may be alone, or whatever the case is. Whatever it is that you choose to do in your space, with your space, that's your prerogative. But you need to be consistent, because I'm going to tell you now, as a woman, if I can break you one time, if I can get you to break your requirement once, then all I hear and all I see is the opportunity to influence you to do so again. If I want you to stay longer, if I want to be together longer, then I'm going to try again. And it's not from a place of negativity. It's just me, once again, wanting, as a woman, wanting what I want when I want it. So I'm going to go for it. So dear darling, dear sir, she's not having a tough time understanding the concept of you being a man and needing your space. She just wants to change your mind, which we as women oftentimes do. I mean, it is what it is. You know, we want you to change your mind. So sometimes we're not above using emotions, or, emotional displays, or guilt trips to get you to do what we want you to do. Now, obviously, this is not the healthiest way of communicating with one another, but it doesn't change the fact, nonetheless, that it's reality. It's reality. Is happening every single day, every single moment of every single day. with women everywhere, women and men everywhere. But it doesn't have to be a big deal. It's just all about finding balance in your relationship. I understand that you may be more of a loner than your girlfriend or your wife. You may be more of a loner. You may feel like you need more space than she feels she needs. But once again, this is one of those topics that should have been discussed during the negotiation process of the relationship. You all should have been very well aware of each other's personalities and have been willing to accept each other just as each other are, and not go in or enter into the relationship with a mentality, I understand he said this or I understand she said that, but I think I can get her to change a little bit over time, or I think I can get him to change, or I'll break him of that. No, well, that's where you first messed up, because you didn't really listen to each other if you had this moment at the beginning of the relationship where you were honest with one another and stated what were your expectations and your requirements in the relationship or of the other person. So yes, revisiting the question, why doesn't my significant other understand that a man needs his space? She understands, sweetie. So I can't tell you why she doesn't, because I know she does. Like I said, it's a very simple concept to comprehend. She understands. She simply doesn't want to give you as much space as you are saying you require. So now at this point, you and your lady must sit down and renegotiate the terms of your relationship. Once again, you must talk with one another and say, listen, if we're going to move forward, I don't know if marriage is in your future. If it is, then you need to sit down. You really need to sit down and renegotiate the terms of your relationship and say, hey, I know on this journey this journey of this relationship, we're going to evolve. We're going to change in different ways. But I also know that there are some parts of us that will remain the same because they're just written in our DNA. And there's nothing or anyone that's going to change that. What I believe to be one of those things that's written in my DNA code is I require space away from you, but it's nothing personal to you. It's just how I'm wired. And I need for you to trust and respect me enough to accept that as truth. Accept that as being exactly what I just said it is. Nothing personal towards you. It has nothing to do with anything going wrong in our relationship. I love you just the same. I like you just the same. I want to be with you just as much now as I did prior to telling you I need some space. Because what that space does is it gives us an opportunity to regroup. And so if you give me the opportunity to regroup mentally, emotionally, intellectually, socially, spiritually, you give me that time to regroup, I then become a better man for you. I then become a better listener when we're together because you talk so much. Because you're a woman and we talk. I can be a better everything to you if you just accept that I need the space and time to do that. And unfortunately, that means space and time from you as well. Sometimes it means space and time to myself. Sometimes it's going to mean I need that space and time for me to just hang out with my boys and not have to worry about making sure every word I say is accurate, because sometimes we can harp on words a little more than intended. Does that make sense? So she understands, honey. She just doesn't want to give you what you want. That's it. She just doesn't. So you all should sit down, renegotiate the terms of your relationship. Sit down, be completely transparent and honest with one another, and be consistent. If you're unwilling to compromise your need for space and time to regroup and gather yourself to become a better man for her, for when you all could come back together, then make that plain and let her know how it affects you when how it affects your mental status and emotional status in regard to your relationship when she attempts to change your mind if it bothers you. Okay? I hope this helped. Once again, this is Christina McNair, the relationship facilitator with Fresh Start Relationship Coaching. You've been watching Fresh Talk with Fresh Start. Join us again. Until the next time, up Don't forget to visit our website and book your one-on-one relationship coaching session at www.fsrcoaching.com. Book a one-on-one session with me, the relationship facilitator. And until the next time, until we see each other again, take care. All right. Thanks so much, guys.